Hello, hello. Welcome. My name is Gabriela Enriquez. I'm the CEO and founder of HRBP Inc. and Global Edge Partners and the Vice President of the Women's Chamber of Commerce in Miami-Dade. I am here today with one of our amazing members, Charley LeGrande, and she is the CEO and founder of Lies and Investigation, private investigation. So I am super excited because all I know about private investigations is kind of what you see on TV.
Right.
So I want to know how someone like yourself just got involved and just kind of a little bit more about your story.
Thank you. Right. So Truth and Lies Investigations, women owned and operated, celebrating actually 20 years this year. I say we are a boutique firm with a global reach because we have investigators and process servers in every part of the globe. So excited about that. But how I got started, well, my motivation was absolutely my kids. I actually was a singer, a professional singer. As a teenager, graduating from high school, I was a professional singer. My father was a world-renowned jazz superstar, and I wanted to be him. So I was a singer on stage 6 nights a week in Miami, New York, Vegas, and got married, had 2 kids, and I had 2 young boys, went through a divorce, and became a single mom overnight. So they were absolutely my motivation. I had to create something. I couldn't be out till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning any longer. I had to be home at night, and be present for my boys. So I had to create something that would allow me to be home at night. So I was always obsessed with Charlie's Angels. Back in the day, it was like the first female PI, on TV, at least in my day, and Law and Order and anything that was connecting dots or putting pieces of the puzzle together. I was always 5 steps ahead of everyone. So I thought, I'm going to get licensed as a PI and build a business. So I did. I got licensed in Miami. I hired a couple of female PIs. And with 2 young boys, I built my company in the bleachers of the basketball gym between games and tournaments.
I love that. So you started kind of your own Charlie's Angels. Like you wanted to start that same thing.
I did. And being my name is Charlie, it made it.
It made sense. It makes sense. Okay, it's clicking. It's all making sense now. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. So from your kids' bleachers, from like practice, and so what did you Google? Like how did you research? What did you do?
I think I just, I educated myself as much as I could as a PI. I researched and educated myself as much as I could as a business owner. And, basically it is a male dominated industry, especially 20 years ago when I started. And I feel like I had to earn credibility immediately and repeatedly. It's kind of like a singer. You're only as hot as your last hit. As a PI, you're only as great as your last case. So I just educated myself on both being an investigator and a business owner. And I built my company rooted in integrity. And what initially seemed maybe as a disadvantage being a woman in a male dominating business really ended up being my strength. Because, as a woman, we have women's intuition obviously, and empathy. And it's a field, that's impacting people's lives.
So curiosity there, because that's, and I normally don't ask as far as, as a woman, what kind of struggles you face, because I feel like we could do everything and then some, right? Than males in the field. Right. But what do you feel that you really overcame, over time, as a woman in this business?
I think that I let the product speak for itself. So I made it less about being a woman, but just making sure that my product again came with, relentless education and integrity. And I think that people, that's what they care about more than anything. Not competing whether it's a woman or a man, but just, delivering a really good product. Yeah. And that's what we did at the end of the day.
So let's talk about a day in the life of, right, a private investigator. What kind of situations do you kind of find, or what are you doing, and what do you entrepreneurs and business owners really use you for?
So we are full service investigations and process service. So we serve papers as well. But a day in the life, our clientele is mostly attorneys, family law attorneys. We do a lot of divorce and child custody, relocation, cohabitation. We do some criminal, workers' compensation, liability. So a lot of probate more recently, finding assets or heirs. So we do a little bit of everything. So a day in the life, thankfully, I've been building this for so many years, is I have an incredible support staff now in the office, and then agents in the field. So it's allowed me to sort of just oversee the operations at this point. I can have my laptop and, be managing it from the mountains if I wanted, which has provided a lot of freedom. And it's also provided a lot of freedom where I don't have to be behind my desk anymore.
Yeah.
I can be out in the community. I can be doing interviews like this. I can collaborate with other business owners, other women, and give back to my community and things like that are important.
That's amazing. And so what would you say were the biggest lessons learned or turning point when that shift started to happen?
So I would say it's not going to be a sexy answer. Probably my hardest lesson to learn was hard financial experiences. So I assumed when you provide a service, someone's going to pay you for it.
Right.
And, over the years, people don't pay. So I've lost, probably thousands and thousands of dollars. I expect people to do the right thing because it's the right thing to do, especially early on in my company. And a lot of times people just wouldn't pay. And I've even had to take them to court and sue. So I learned that's my hardest lesson, is that you need to have your business up front. You need to have a contract for services. You need to have a retainer agreement. If that retainer is depleted, you need to collect another retainer, and just make sure your business and your contracts and your processes are handled from the forefront, and that protects everyone involved. But that's probably been the hardest lesson, is the financial part.
Yeah,
yes.
For sure.
Yes.
And so celebrating now 20 years, right? Fast tracking 20 years. What would you tell yourself, when you were first starting, or what is something that you would have told early on, Charley, when going into this industry? Is there something that you would have said, maybe with a struggle or something, or because sometimes when business, it's ups and downs, and you don't always have it all figured out.
Right.
Right. So sometimes start questioning whether this was the line of business for you, if it was the right choice.
Right.
It's something that you would have told yourself.
If someone was going into business, I guess any business, probably what I would say is, well, I didn't go to college. I feel like that's important to say. But my family, my parents made sure that I have two brothers, an older brother and a younger brother. My parents made sure that we were in sports year round. Like whatever sport was happening, if it was football, soccer, my brothers were in it. For me, it was tap and jazz and ballet and diving and swimming. And then I became a competitive gymnast, which gymnastics is like 7 days a week, right?
Yeah.
So for me, my discipline and my work ethic and integrity 100% came from sports. It taught me how to show up. I had to be on time. I had to work hard. I fell down. I had to get back up.
Yeah.
So I feel like sports is really what drove me and gave me the grit, I guess, to be able to open my own company. And then to sustain it for 20 years. Was 100% sports. And my brothers, they did not go to college either. And they are both successful business owners. So just if someone doesn't take a traditional educational route, which is great if you do, but if you don't, you have to pull from somewhere,
Right.
that work ethic and that discipline, and, build something that's rooted in integrity.
Wow. I absolutely love that. I agree. It's very true. And I feel like a lot of folks in just generation in general, right? It's hard because
not
you
everyone
can't
is
really
going
lose.
to college. You're not right.
Yeah, and the losing factor, and you feel defeated, and it's like, how do you really bounce back up? And if it's not a lesson learned, right? So I'm a huge advocate for that also with my kids.
Absolutely.
To keep them busy, because I was the same way. I was busy throughout, just kind of growing up with the same thing, ballet and gym and all the things. So that's amazing.
It teaches you your work ethic. I did the same with my boys. I have 2 athletes, and like I said, I built my business, on the bleachers in between basketball games and tournaments, and that's definitely what drives me to do what I do.
Let's talk about that sort of like work-life balance, right? Everybody kind of talks about. I have my theory because of all the things that I've always been doing and how I started so early. But for you, what does that balance look like, or how do you go about that?
It's someone taught me this maybe like 10 years ago, someone much younger than I am. She was an editor of a magazine. It sticks with me. And I actually need to call her and tell her, I use your story all the time. She was an editor for a magazine, and she was coming into town. She needed a place to stay. Can I stay with you for a few days? Sure. And that was maybe 10 years ago or longer, when I was doing life then. My kids were younger. They were going to school. I was cooking breakfast. I was packing lunches. I was dropping one off at one school, one at the other, taking them to basketball practice, doing all of that. Running, still building my business, going out with girlfriends for cocktails, trying to have a date here and there, doing all of that. And she stayed with me for probably like 10 days. And before she left, she said, "You are so successful." Like, what? She said, you have got it all figured out. And I said, "What?" She said, "Success is filling all your baskets."
Mm-hmm.
And you have your I'm a mom basket, that's full. You have your work, you're building your business basket, that's full. You have your family, which is you're going to see your parents for, at church, or you're going to have coffee with them. And, you're going out with your girlfriends for dinner and cocktails. You're going out on a date when you can. That's your love basket. Like, you have all these baskets, and they're all full. And you're doing it all with a smile. You're not like, "Oh, I have to take him to practice now." Or, you're doing it all and that balance of filling those baskets. And it made so much sense to me that's what success is. It's filling the baskets. And so fill your baskets, ladies.
Fill your basket.
Fill your basket.
I love that.
Hashtag fill your basket.
For real. So what is your non-negotiable that, like, when filling all the baskets?
Yeah.
What is your one non-negotiable that you have to do, or you have to have?
I don't think there's one.
Yeah.
I have a big family. We're all very close.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm obsessed with my kids, and I'm obsessed with my parents. So being involved with both my sons, who are grown men now, 20 and 25, one lives 15 minutes south of me and one lives 15 minutes north of me. So I need to touch base with them as a constant. And I need to touch base with my mom. And those are 2 non-negotiables. Family is what keeps me fueled, for sure. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah.
I feel like that was a lesson learned from my dad, because he was an entrepreneur, and he would always say, all the things they'll fall into place. But for you, your time and family, you can't take those back.
Right. So, absolutely.
Yeah, those memories are forever.
They are. Absolutely.
I love that. Okay.
Yeah.
So when should a business contact you? What would happen, or what is a triggering effect for a business to say, I need Charley, I need private investigation?
Right. So I would say, like, a family law attorney, if someone is going through a divorce or a child custody case, finding an unfit parent, someone is relocation case, when they need evidence, when they need the truth, that's when they need to call. If there's some financial questions, if there's a judgment and we're wondering if the parent is abiding by the judgment, surveillance, I always say, is the ultimate tool in settling cases. Surveillance, we're documenting what's happening. There's no way around it. That's when someone should give us a call. If I always say we're truth fairies. So if you're after the truth, we're going to deliver you, whatever that is. If you want to know the truth about anything, whether it's a family case or a probate case or a criminal case, personal injury, insurance fraud, if you are ready for the truth and you want us to uncover it, that's when you give us a call.
When are you not ready for the truth?
You would be surprised. You would be surprised. I mean, a lot of people, they know that there's something going on and they know that it's not the truth, but they're not really ready for it. So I feel like by the time they call us, they're like, okay, I can handle this. I'm ready.
It's just the validation at that point. Yeah.
Correct. But I think by the time they call us, they already know, because it's scary. You're calling a PI. It's, a lot of people are coming to us at their worst time in their life, at their most broken. I don't know what's going to happen to me, my family, my future, my finances. And it's a scary call to make. So I think that by the time they call us, they're like, you know what, it's time.
Yeah.
And the best part about it is, you are speaking to someone like me who is, has empathy, has been through it maybe. And, I always tell my clients, like, it's so bad right now, but I promise you, I'm going to hold your hand through every step of the way, and you're going to be fine when you get to the other side.
I love that.
Yeah.
So with that, I think we kind of also want to know a little bit of tea, because you have it all. So tell us, without sharing obviously confidential information, what would be the most unexpected story or uncovering that you've kind of faced in your career?
Oof.
I know this is like 20 years of...
Yeah, that's a lot to unpack.
It's a lot to unpack.
Oh my gosh. Wow, that's a great question. There's so many though. I would say there's a lot of different types of addictions out there.
Okay.
And we're not here to judge anyone, but I feel like that's probably the hardest. There's obviously drug addiction and alcohol addiction, but there's also sexual addiction, and there's gambling addictions. And a lot of times people hire us and think that they're going to uncover one specific thing, and it's not anything of what they ever imagined.
Completely different.
Yeah. But there are so many different, I have an aha moment all the time.
Wow.
Like a wow moment all the time. So, and I'm 20 years in, and I'm still, it never ceases to amaze me.
That's amazing. And you say you do, so it's global.
It is global.
Well. So how does
I
that
started
become,
out, we're licensed in Florida. I started out just in Miami, and early in my company, we did a couple high profile divorces for like a Victoria's Secret model at one point and an NBA player at another point. And we did a great job. So that sort of catapulted my company early on, gratefully. Mm-hmm. And that introduced us to some high profile divorce attorneys. So, over the years, just building a network of, especially being in Miami, it's such an international place that it would take us to, overseas. It would take us to Europe. It would take us to Dubai. It would take us to Switzerland. So that's allowed me to build a business, outside of the US, which has been amazing. So global, I think we have a private investigator and a process server in every part of the globe.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. I was like, do you have people that are there locally and then, or...
Absolutely. Yes. So a lot of it stems from Miami, but, they want to check out something that's happening in Mexico, or check out, somebody that's traveling, a business partner that's traveling to Switzerland. They want to see what the business partner is up to. So it's taken us to all parts of the world.
That's
we just served someone in Thailand.
Wow.
This week. So
That's amazing.
Yes.
Oh
The
my
global
gosh.
reach is amazing.
Well, congratulations. Because honestly, I mean,
Thank you.
the success and for being around 20 years and counting on and just growing strong. That's amazing.
Thank you.
What would you share to a woman entrepreneur that maybe not is just starting, but she's really trying to get the groove to scale, right, and grow her business to the next level? What sort of advice would you give?
I would say find that grit and that work ethic and that discipline. Educate yourself relentlessly. Everything is constantly changing. And the more you get out and network, which is more of a newer thing for me, honestly, because I was raising my kids. And once my son went to college, I thought, okay, if I have this successful business and I barely left my office, I didn't get behind, I'm just leaving my desk. Imagine if I got out and I started talking to people about my business, or I started networking or joining a networking group or go to a happy hour. So I would say get out there and talk to people, learn from people, try to get under someone's wing that's done it before, and be relentless. It's my favorite. Be relentless. And fill your baskets.
And fill the baskets. I love it. Relentless and fill the baskets.
Yeah, relentless and fill the baskets.
I love it. Okay.
Yes.
Well, how can we follow you or find you, more information about you?
So our website is truthandliesinvestigations.com.
Okay.
Our email is info@truthandliespi.com. You can Google it or chat GBT it or however you do it. And again, I have an incredible support staff. And even if someone has a case and they're not even sure if we can help, call us. Let's walk through it, come up with a game plan. We're here to help. We're truth fairies.
I love that. I love that.
You.
No, this was amazing. I thank you so much for your time. Really just trying to get to know you a little bit more and really showcase your business, because it's such an interesting story, and all the nuggets that you shared today, I know will help a lot of just people in general, but especially women entrepreneurs really trying to grow and scale and think beyond maybe in a corporate position, right? Or doing something different. And
Absolutely.
just like yourself, from music to private investigations, so completely different.
Correct.
And you're thriving. So that's amazing story to share. And I feel like we really need to hear a lot more of these stories.
Yes.
So that it gives the courage to other women to really be bold enough and think bigger and do these things, so they can really kind of step out of that comfort zone and into something bigger.
Agreed. Well, I appreciate you having me.
Thank you so much. All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Until next time with the WCC. Thanks.